So what I usually do with this is, let's pretend that you rub this lamp and I came out of it. Let's pretend I'm a genie. Okay, let's pretend it. It won't hurt. We are pretending, okay? You are being clear. This
I'm
is
not gonna lie, I'm actually terrified where this is going.
But okay, so go ahead and start telling me what would be your first wish.
Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control?
I have to give a shout out to my real employer who is sponsoring today's episode, so I don't get in trouble. And that is a quick thank you to Ring Central for sponsoring the Lately in PHP podcast. If you're not familiar with Ring Central offers full cloud communication. So we're talking message, video, phone in the cloud. And they have a bunch of APIs that allow you to connect and build your own applications on top of their Ring Central MVP platform. So definitely check them out at ringcentral.com and their developer platform at developers.ringcentral.com. I'm going to share another quick story, and I know we're running close on time. I want to share the story because I think it's so important because it speaks to what you're talking about with the obstacles.
Yeah.
Moving from being a student of the nursing program to learn about medicine to tech and taking a tech job, I didn't have the credentials to be a developer according to a lot of places. I didn't have a computer software or computer engineering or computer science degree, and I got passed up by a lot of businesses. I didn't have always supportive managers. I had some managers who did not feel I belonged in tech, and I'm not going to name places, I'm not going to name names, but one conversation I will never forget is first day on the job. I met with the one person, and they said, "I voted against hiring you," and I was like, "Hey, it's great to work with you too." I'm literally, it's like, what do you do? And I will tell people that I wish I could say that attitude changed. I wish I could say that, I was given a fair shake. I wasn't, and it was a miserable job. And I'm not naming names, but you have to persevere. You have to overcome that. And I empathize when people say they didn't give me a shot. They didn't give me an opportunity. They weren't fair. They didn't, because as my father used to tell me, life's not fair. And having gone through that, I know how much it's just, there's no better word, how much it sucks. How much it sucks to fall flat on your face again and again and again and not feel like you're going forward. And I did that really for the first part of my career. I wasn't just one job where I fell flat or didn't feel like I met expectations. Thankfully, I had people that mentored me, that believed in me, that pushed me forward. But you're going to have adversity. No matter what you do in life, there'll be adversity. Yeah. And know that you're not alone, because while there's plenty of people who tell you can't do it, a lot of people say that you can't do it. It's just funny. I'm going to share this last thing. What's funny is I can tell how good of an engineer someone is, how good they really are, by how they treat others. Because the really talented engineers in our community, the really, really good ones, are some of the nicest people I've met. And some of the biggest jerks in the community can't code to save their lives. I'm just being flat out honest.
Okay.
And same thing, in Silicon Valley, you get some people, and I'll pick on the VCs. You have people in Silicon Valley that talk about business and how to do business right, and they tell you what you can and can't. I'm gonna tell the Larry Ullman story. I wasn't gonna do it, but you got me talking. So I'm going to share this, and this is one of the things that makes me respect Larry so much. If you don't know who Larry Ullman is, he's the author of the Quick Start Guide series, and he has I think it's over 30 books. It's some ridiculous number. And I'm at a conference with Larry, and Larry and I are talking, and this is how humble the guy is, because I'm sitting going like, man, it's so great to see you again. Like, I can't wait for your talk. He goes, "Oh, I'm really interested in your talk too." I'm like, "Dude, you taught me everything I know to get started with PHP. Like, you don't need to come to my talk. Like, you're beyond me." But we're talking, and this young man walks up and he asks what we're talking about. And Larry says, "Well, I'm thinking about a new book." And the guy's like, "Oh, well, what's your idea?" And so Larry shares the idea. And then as the guy's talking, he starts asking Larry more questions about the book. And every time Larry answers the question, this young man goes, that's not going to work. And I kid you not, it was about a 20-minute conversation where everything Larry said, this guy disagreed, told him he was doing it wrong, and told him how to fix it. And after 20 minutes, Larry, and I kid you not, because Larry's a much better person than I am, he thanks the individual for his time, he thanks him for his advice, and he excuses himself to go give his talk. And I'm sitting here just dumbfounded. I'm like, I can't believe it just happened. And the guy turns to me and he goes, I kind of feel bad for him. And I'm like, well, why?
Okay.
And he goes, well, I'm writing a book. I'm writing my first book, and I know how hard it is. And he just doesn't have what it takes. And I lost it. I lost that point. I'm like, do you know who that was? He's like, no, that's Larry Ullman. He goes, oh, well, the name sounds familiar. Like, it should. He's written 30 books. The publisher has already paid him for this book. Like, there's no question he's getting published. But that's the type of people that you're going to deal with. You talk about people who know everything, even though they haven't done it. They have the knowledge, or they think they're, again, going back to VC, one of the more fun conversations I had with the VC is you hear these people who are just jerks. Like, I got money. And I'm sitting at this meetup, and I'm talking with this guy, and this guy asked me if he can have a cup of coffee. I'm like, oh, yeah, you help yourself to coffee. We got snacks. If you want a beer, grab a beer. And we're just talking. And this is the nicest guy I've ever met. And after the conversation's done, he hands me his card. And he goes, I really appreciate letting me hang out. I was kind of, didn't have any plans for tonight. I saw this. I was curious. I walked in not knowing what it was. He goes, and I don't really have a use case for your technology. He goes, but I'm pretty sure my businesses do. And again, I'm not naming names, but he was a major player in the VC space and the nicest guy you ever met. And from the conversation, you would not have known it. So when someone tells you how good they are, my dad used to say, don't tell people how good you are. Let others tell them for you. When someone starts telling you what you can do, what you can't do, chances are they have no clue.
Yes, and the value that you can provide to the world, it's not exactly you, it's your work. It's the result of your work. So if you code, the value is your code. It's not you. It's just something that you created, you produced, and you released and made it available to others. And those are important steps for you to succeed. Those are part of the steps of what is called the hero journey. I don't know if you have heard the hero journey. It's a pattern of stories of the lives of everybody. Everybody can be the hero of others. But it's up to others to tell. It's not up to me to tell them just Manuel. Some people hate me. They think they are my enemies. Oh, I have enemies. That's amazing. But what harm have I done to them? Sometimes we have not done any harm. Sometimes you just look for them in a way they got scared. They felt they were very small compared to, but well, look, it's not the size of the person. It's what you can share with them. If you can share good knowledge, that's very important because knowledge is the beginning of everything. And anyway, we need to conclude.
Yes. Before we one quick comment before we close here, if I can, really quickly, sorry, because you said something it's really important. My goal in life is to have a positive impact on at least one person. That's my entire goal in life. If I can accomplish that, I will succeed in what I think my purpose is. And the one thing that we get lost on is it's not what others think of you. It's not other people's perception. It's what you think of yourself and why you're doing it. And to Manuel's point, he's had plenty of haters. I will promise, I can just, again, I'm not going to name names, plenty of haters. You're always have people who disagree, always have people who have issues, but I'm not doing what I do for them. I'm doing it because my goal is to help other people. And I'm not going to let them stop me from trying to help others. And I'm not going to, their perception of me, which I completely disagree with, change that. And that's important for you too. Again, I'm not that smart. You can ask my teachers. They'll tell you I'm not that smart. My goal though was I like coding. I enjoyed it. I want to learn. I want to put in the work and I want to grow. And thankfully there's a tremendous PHP community that was willing to help me. And if you want to know code, if you want to learn, and I'm going to throw this offer. If you can't afford NomadPHP, shoot me an email. We'll get you a subscription. I don't want anybody to miss out on having the
Yeah,
materials,
that's
having the
great.
resources. We want you to learn. We want you to grow. And I don't care what anyone tells you. If you want to do it, you can do it. Whatever you put your mind to. I mean, there's some limitations. I want to be an NBA player. I'm 5'11" and I have bad knees and I can't jump. So there's some limitations. But coding doesn't have that limitation. So whatever
Yes,
you want to do, don't let other people stop you. Don't let other people get in the way. Don't let people who
yes.
take issue with you stop your dreams, because there's a reason they're called your dreams. And with Manuel, with
Yeah,
that, I will stop talking. I'll pass it back over to you to close.
yeah,
Before we close,
yeah.
I should do a
No,
quick thank you to Ring Central again for sponsoring this episode. I love when a company sponsors, so that just you and I could just talk for an hour. So again, a big thank you to
yes,
Ring Central on that. And Manuel, again, thank you for letting me join you for this kind of Return of the Jedi's, and hopefully I wasn't the
I
Darth
was
Vader or
kidding.
Darth Maul or
Okay,
whoever on this
we are
one.
not
Worst
Jedi.
Jar Jar Binks. I don't know.
I have a sword there, but it's fake. I also have something nice. Look, do you know what this is?
Okay, I'm gonna say that looks like Aladdin's lamp, which will be epically amazing if it is.
Yes, but it's fake.
Oh,
Fake.
I was waiting for
It's
the
fake.
genie. I was waiting for the genie.
Okay, that's what I realized. Some time ago, I went to see the Aladdin movie with my wife, and I wanted to know what was her point of view. I asked her, if I were character of the Aladdin movie, what would I be? I said, oh, you would be the genie. I was just kidding. I'm not the genie, just Manuel. Okay. Why I am a genie? No, that's part of my psychological profile. And sometimes you don't realize that about you, because everybody has a potential. Everybody has psychological characteristics that could be put in favor of others. So what I usually do with this is, let's pretend that you rub this lamp and I came out of it. Let's pretend I'm a genie. Okay, let's pretend it. It won't hurt. We are pretending, okay? You are being clear. This
I'm
is
not gonna
not
lie. I'm actually
real.
terrified where this is going.
But okay, the truth. The plan is, every genie gives some wishes, or tries to fulfill the wishes. Let's pretend I'm a genie, and but you are a nice person. You don't deserve just 3 wishes. You have unlimited wishes, because I'm sure 3 is not sufficient for you. I'm sure you have dreams, and you just need to tell me what they will be, and I'll try to make them happen. I don't know when. Sometimes making wishes happen takes a lot of time. It's not like in the movie that it's like that. It's not. Sometimes it can be because the wishes were already fulfilled. And so, given that, you have unlimited wishes. So go ahead and start telling you what would be your first wish. I'll try to realize. I don't know how, but I don't even know what is your wish. But let's listen to you.
My wishes? Are you asking me for my wishes?
Yes.
Ooh. Um, Man, this is a question where I need to prep for. Um, Honestly, I feel very blessed in life. There's a lot of things that a person can wish that they have or want to change. But the reality is, at the same time, we can't lose sight, for me, I can't lose sight of what I have had and how blessed I've been. One of the lessons I learned from EMS was, life can be very short. And, it's actually about 10 years ago now, on December 23rd, my father had a massive myocardial infarction, or basically a severe heart attack. And the term of the heart attack, the nickname is called the Widowmaker, because it has less than a 1% chance of survival.
Oh.
December 25th, my father woke up, and he survived the heart attack, and the doctor told him he had 5 years to live, and here we are 10 years later. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. And like, those are the things to me that there are so many things that can be done, but I don't want to lose sight of how blessed I've been. And no matter the circumstance, how we can always do something. I was teaching a first aid course, and I had a quadriplegic individual. And if you're not familiar with the term, he could move his head, and he could use a straw to speak. And he would do is he'd type on his computer, and that's how he spoke. And that was the extent of his movability. And I had to break the news to him that because you are physically required to demonstrate the skill of CPR, he cannot pass the class. And I told him that. I said, I'm sorry, but I can't certify you in CPR. And the crazy thing is, I've had a lot of people who are fully able, who just didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be in the course. They didn't want to take time to learn. It didn't matter if it might actually save somebody's life, which, by the way, if you haven't taken a first aid CPR course, I encourage you to do so, because the chance of you having to help a complete stranger is pretty low. It's less than 5%. So if you're thinking about, I'm walking on the street, you see me collapse and need to do CPR, no, you're probably not. The chance of it being a coworker, someone that you work with, is 15%. So there's a decent chance it might be somebody at work, but the chance of being a family member is 80%. You will run into a scenario sometime in your life, and that's why I encourage that. But again, some people don't want to be there. And so I tell this individual that he cannot pass. I cannot certify him. And he made me feel like absolute crap, because his response was, that's okay. Because even though I can't do the skill, if someone needs help, I can tell someone else how to. He looked at his capabilities, what he has, and how blessed he's been, not at all the things that he didn't have that other people do. So going back to your 3 wishes.
My first
unlimited wishes. No, unlimited wishes. My first wish is to have a positive impact on others. And I'm, trying to grow and trying to be a better person. And, it's so easy to engage in some of the drama that happens if I'm trying to stay out of that and try to be more, I guess, a better example in that regard. That's wish number 1, that I can help at least one person grow, that I can help at least one person and transform their life the way people have transformed mine.
Yeah.
The second is that I can be, or that I can be content with, not just content, that I can recognize and be grateful for all the blessings I've had in my life. People talk about lives. I'm not going to dive into it. I'm not going to tell you my life was hard, because there are plenty of people who had much more difficult and challenging times than I'm not going to tell you my life was easy, because there are people who've haven't had to have some of the challenges I've had. It's my life. The only life I can speak to is the one that I live. But I do feel so incredibly blessed that at the end of the day, those are my 2 wishes. And for the other wishes, they're icing on the cake.
Okay, so the first one is just to make impact in one person?
If I can make a difference in one person's life, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to, oh, hey, I helped. One person says, you changed my life. And I'm like, great, I'm just going to stop, because then there's one more person to help. No,
you already
that's my goal.
fulfilled that wish, because you already changed my life. Okay, because I didn't think of implementing the marketplace until you told me. So
I think you really are a genie here. Sorry for
no, that was easy. That shouldn't count. I mean, the wish is for the future, because eventually your work in NomadPHP, as we know, was based on work of Carl Evans, and we should always be grateful to him to get started, because the founder has a spirit that is very important. The spirit of someone that starts creating something. He has the courage to move on, and then he passed it to you. For whatever reasons, maybe he didn't have much time to continue, and you are fulfilling that gap.
I'll take him out to take it. I think he's like, anybody but Mike. Anybody? No, okay, fine, Mike, you can have it.
Yeah. So I'm sure you will make an impact in way much more people than just one. because I have analyzed what you did in NomadPHP. It's a business based on learning, and it's paid by subscription, and the subscription is affordable. Those are very important characteristics for success of a business. So being successful and making positive impacts on people is very, very easy. Very easy because it's just a matter of time. That's because we will be collaborating. Nobody does everything alone. We always do
That's very true.
in collaboration. So that one is easy, but of course it will take time because we did not launch yet the marketplace. It is coming. We need to solve a few challenges. I have to also say that I'm already collaborating with other companies that have products or service for the PHP community. Most of them are already sponsors of the PHP Innovation Award. And I also have to say there is a new award that was starting recently, which is the PHP Development Master Award, which aims to distinguish people that not only provide great components, but they also provide great tutorials, because tutorials are very important to teach people how to use their code. The code sometimes is missing documentation at the minimum and the examples, so people can learn. But still, that is not the best way to teach. The best way to teach is to give the thing that people commonly call the recipe, which is the step-by-step tutorial. And they have the ingredients, so you need to have this, and that. Then you start going step by step. But let's show this in video. So you are already doing all that. So
But I do
success.
appreciate that, and likewise, again, all that you've done to help the community. Like I said, you're a big reason that I can be here talking to you today about tech. So I want to just express that gratitude again.
Yeah. And maybe I have a few things to review, not today, but some other time, because this podcast is already long, it's 1 hour and a half. But what is important is that there is intention to collaborate. And they have it written in the PHP Innovation Award page that collaborating is better than competing, because collaboration aggregates and competition often subtracts. People go to wars because of competition. And in the end, it doesn't matter. It's not about me or you, it's about them, the whole community that's outside. And that's a lot of people. And if you can help one, we can help 100, 1,000, 1 million, maybe. Let's see if we get there. But there will be a lot of work to be done, because it's many, many, many details. And nowadays, I try to understand. I try to understand people that send contact us to be critics, so to criticize the site. Oh, this is not well, because every time somebody finds a reason to send a criticism, it's because something is not well done. And sometimes we don't even know what was not well done, because we don't even know the whole impact of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we develop many things and then we realize that there is something that is not working. Another topic you can come back later in a future episode is how can we track the errors that go in the background. I have a very simple method, but it's very efficient, because every time there is a mistake, often the PHP error log gets filled of error messages. And
I don't have that problem. I might.
Yes.
So, I have to throw us out here because, at my team at Ring Central, I tell my team members that family always comes first. It's the most important thing.
Yes.
And I have to practice what I preach, because I promised Tanya that now that some of the restrictions have eased in California, I'd take her out for a date. So,
that's great.
I hate to do it, but if we can finish up here, that way I'll be able to come back again versus being told no.
Yes. Well, actually, I was handing And I was telling you that fixing mistakes is important, and we'll get back to that in a future episode. And but you had one last vision. You need to remind me. What was really that?
The second one is to be able to recognize and be grateful for all the blessings I've had.
Yes, that's will be a consequence of your work because you are already doing the right thing. You're trying to be helpful in a way that will reach a lot of people, not just in the United States where you are, but mainly outside. The There are countries that are very delayed. Unfortunately, they've been in wars. They are still in wars until today, and they are very delayed. But the people there are very humble, and they are really in the need to learn. Sometimes I get contacts people that want money to invest. No, the first investment must be knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have knowledge, how well are you going to use the money that you get from the investors? And the best investment is your customer.
Yep.
So I'll leave it here, and we'll get back to this hopefully next month. And I hope to talk more about PHP and less about us and the attitudes and people, because for some people this is already too obvious. For other people, they still need to digest. They'll think about what we said. I think you said very important things. And with this, I conclude this podcast. I really like to appreciate your presence and your comments, and also the sponsorship of Ring Sandro. That's very welcome. That makes this participation in the podcast financially viable, which is also important. It's not so much about the money; it's about the work that it requires, not just to record, to edit, eventually to transcribe, because we used to do transcriptions, but they took a lot of time and we need to spend some money, and that's really hard work. But let's see if we can get back to those transcriptions, because some people prefer to read the text rather than watch the video or on the audio. Different people have different preferences, and that's all fine. And with this, I conclude this podcast. And again, thank you and whoever had the patience to watch for 1.5 hours, people just mumbling about life. But next time we hope to talk more about PHP, the state of PHP today, the hope for the PHP in the future, and the PHP community, the different projects that PHP developers are putting outside, and what we can expect from the future, learning from what we had as experiences in the past. So with this, I think we are all done. Thank you for your participation. Also, thank you for your wife for understanding your delays. But we are done now.
All right,
Manuel,
Manuel, thank you for having me. And thank you, everyone who attended as well. And we'll see you next month.
Okay. Bye.